Well, hello and good afternoon, and with me is the chairman of Selectors in Barbados, Henderson Broomes, a man who's been in the job for quite a long time and has had tremendous success as chairman of the Barbados Selectors. The Barbados team to go off to the Super 50 has been selected. Barbados with a proud record, having won the championship on 8 occasions, the last time back in 2016, and no doubt the chairman of Selectors, Hendy, is looking forward to great success for the Barbados team. Hendy, good afternoon to you. Do you think you can win it?
Good afternoon, Andrew. Thanks for having me. Of course, I think we can win it. Obviously, we have a very experienced side, and nothing but good, excellent performances I expect from this Barbados side.
Talking about an experienced side, you're very right, Shea Hope, who has done so well for the West Indies. You've got Craig Brathwaite back in the side. You know, people like Brooks and Mears. That's a powerful side. Yes,
Andrew. Shea obviously one of the top one-day batsmen in world cricket. Craig, obviously the West Indies captain and a staple at the international team for West Indies. We have Brooks and Kyle Mears, as you said, so we're backing on our batting experience to push us all the way.
And of course, Jamal Warrican, with the experience of playing for the West Indies, he's in that squad as well.
Yes, Jamal Warrican is with us. Obviously, the tournament playing in Trinidad, which is predominantly a spinner's paradise, and with some 30-something games played in Trinidad, we expect that side of the game where Jamal Warrican will come into his own as the tournament goes along.
There's some players that may be unfamiliar to many people. You've got a Javed Leacock, who has been around for some time now, playing for UWI. And of course, Kemar Smith, who plays for the YMPC club. Tell us about those two.
Well, Leacock played last year. Obviously, he had a little taste of what regional cricket brings. He did, I wouldn't say did excellent, but he didn't disgrace himself. He obviously showed some potential and some talent. I think it's important that we in Barbados develop our leg spin. So part of the emphasis was to make sure that we have leg spin prominence in the side. So Leacock is in the side for that reason. When you look around the world, leg spin in the middle overs and sometimes at the back end is a very important tool. So we look at some of the mistakes we would have made over the last 3 years. Certainly I did as chairman, to look at one or two of the things that I feel we could have done better. And leg spin, obviously, Andrew, is something that if we can develop that along with our seam bowling attack, that is something that pushes us along the way. Kemar Smith, again, I am excited about Kemar Smith for two reasons. Obviously, he was part of the A-team that we put together, so we had two solid A-team tours, and Kemar was in both. And again, coming from the club structure, I like to know that at least during these selection meetings and stuff, that there's somebody coming from the club structure that kind of give representation to the club structure and start the cricket. So seeing someone like Kemar makes a side that some people is calling it a big side with all the international players in, that should give motivation to some of the other young members playing club cricket on the Saturday. So I'm very excited about the Kemar Smith and Javed Leacock selection.
Was it an easy side to pick?
Easy in the sense that obviously we're blessed with some talent for this format of the cricket. We have Matthew Jones, who would have had a very, very lengthy discussion.
I would have been close to selection given his performances for Gladiola in the local competition.
Well, correct. And again, as I said, so having those kind of players around, it all goes well for Barbados cricket. So again, it wasn't difficult in the sense of the structure. Sometimes we look at the structure, looking at the team, people tend to think, well, this body was hard left out. So what I like to do is based on the international calendar, the format and the way we put together the team changes from time to time. Obviously, with the West Indies international players available, we look at the structure to what we wanted, the balance to what we wanted, and then we apply the personnel. Obviously, sometimes now when the West Indies players are away, we'll take a different angle. We look at the personnel that is available and then try to see what is the best balance to get for us to compete. So this year was one where we look at the balance that we would need, and then put the personnel to that. So in that instance, it wasn't too difficult. For me personally, it was a little bit on the softer side. Obviously, when I look at Rivaldo in rich form. When you look at somebody like Matthew Jones again, rich form, and still not being able to be showcased from that angle, that is what I had more of a softer side to it. But as far as structuring the team, I didn't have any issues at all.
Now, talking about structure, we're going to continue on that. Let's look at your bowling. We spoke about the spinners. What about your pace attack?
And pace attack will be marshalled. Well, let me say seam attack will be marshalled by Akeem Jordan, Dominic Drakes, and the explosive Jair McAllister. He's the one that I expect to bring that firepower to the attack. I think when we look at it last year, he was in the side. He never got a chance to get a game, and from the time he hit the market, tongues were wagging. And the good thing about it, Barbados didn't play any of the 4-day cricket in Barbados, so all the exciting comments that came about McAllister, Andrew, would have come from outside the region. So nobody can point the fingers and say, oh, Andrew is talking him up or Harold is talking him up. It came from outside the region. So that also give good intention. So he Dominic Drakes, Jair McAllister, and we have the experienced Raymond Reefer. Based on the conditions, based on how the plans go, he'll be able to be useful with the ball. And obviously Kyle Mears, who is a all-experienced guy to regional cricket now. He's had lots of experience at the international level. So when we look at the combination, we felt that we had enough in the bank that can take us very deep in this competition, Andrew.
And of course, the exciting Russian Primus.
Correct. Roshan Primus, again, once fit, is a match winner. We saw it last season at the back end. That innings was a match-winning innings. Obviously, it didn't take us over the line, but we all know that Roshan, once he's fit, he is a match winner with ball and bat. So hopefully he's been topping up on his fitness. I think that is the one area that if I could snap a finger and get going, that would be the one thing about Primus that I would like to see. But again, I am excited for him. He has an opportunity to be in the side now. He's been knocking on the doors. He's been around. So I expect that he will once again represent himself and Barbados Pride excellent.
I want to take you back to Rivaldo Clark. Tongues are wagging up with this young man. People believe that he's got the ingredients to go all the way. Tell us about young Clark.
When I look at young Clark, and I had this conversation not only a couple of days with my good friend Robin Paris, and we were speaking about Rivaldo, and I was saying to Robin, I remember when people used to say that Rivaldo don't make runs and Rivaldo isn't improving. And I used to always remind them that you got to be careful with that comment because Rivaldo never played a lot of representative cricket for the schools. So he would have been playing for Gradiola for a number of years and people would have been judging him as a experienced player. But in that time, Rivaldo was finding his footing and he's over at Gradiola now, Marshall and being looked after by Ashley, and I know Ashley plays a big role in him, and I'm excited about the development of Rivaldo over the last 12 months, 13, 15 months coming out to the Under-19 World Cup. After that, Rivaldo has hit the tarmac and he's performing excellent. I'm very, very excited about him. We have Kevin Wickham, who obviously asked to take part with the emerging team. So when you look at it, we still have some young guys, 20 and 21-year-old guys coming through. And Rivaldo, Andrew, again, runs on a Saturday, runs on a Sunday. You can't ask for much more. And that's coming from a chairman of selectors who have just selected a side. And he's not in it. And that also then shows the strength at this time of the Barbados cricket. So it's not a letdown on Rivaldo's part. It's the strength of Barbados cricket at this time.
On a personal note, are you enjoying the job as chairman of selectors?
Of course I am. When I look back at it, this will be my 13th consecutive year now, Andrew. Coming out of youth cricket and playing club cricket, I never expected that Henderson Broomes would have been the head of one of the richest cricketing countries in the world. We have the Sir Garfield Sobers and Sir Everton Weeks and those legends of the game. And you look through the history of it and you see the little young boy from Sand Hill, Westmoreland, Carlton, Edersley is the chairman of Barbados Selectors. So I've enjoyed every step of it. There were ups and downs, not from within my panel, but ups and downs with not winning certain championships. But I grew along the way. I understand that being a chairman of Barbados Selectors, only winning satisfies the public. But sometimes when we look at it, we have to look at it in a holistic way where, for instance, last year, regional 4-day tournament, we had a very young side. The side put itself in winning combinations, winning positions in almost 3 of the 5 games, then to lose. So that tells me that we had what it takes, just the experience was lacking. And again, every year, what I like to see is a new Barbados talent on the West Indies team. So last season, we had Akeem Jordan, you had Jair McAllister, you had Zach McCaskey, you had Shem Holder. All those guys brought into what they are calling the best of the best. So that, even though from a team perspective, which would have missed the experience, individually we had good representation. And that doesn't even mention the 5 guys at the emerging camp. Justin now gone off from Windward Islands to Leeward Islands, Tevin Walker and Shamar Springer. So we have a wide representation throughout the region. So all those guys coming through when I was part of the selection panel. So I'm thankful, again, honored to be anything to do with Barbados cricket, and top it off being the chairman of Selectors for three consecutive years. Andrew, I'm thankful.
And of course, with tremendous success, there's no doubt about that. When you look at his record, it is a very good one. We've been talking to the chairman of Selectors, Henderson Broomes. The Barbados team will be going off on Sunday. That's October the 15th. They start their campaign on the 17th. We wish them well.